Up here in the San Gabriels, just checking it out. Look at this. This is in that little turnout where they used to have the traffic light temporarily. Gonna go up and check out the East Fork. It's flowing. This is usually near bone dry. I'm standing directly over a tunnel that lets out right here. This tunnel shoots directly across and hits that bank. You follow that bank around to the next intake and there's a mine right there. That is the junction of the West and North Fork coming down. I'll show you that, but I'm going to go up and check the East Fork first. And there's a few waterfalls on the way. There's a mine back in there too, but that one's collapsed a long time ago. Someone tried digging it out, but it collapses right back down as fast as you can dig. There are more police up here than there are vehicles, other cars, normal people. Well, what you consider normal. Okay, this is Susanna Canyon. The bridge going to the fire department is almost underwater. I'll try to show it to you on the way back. Okay, this is down just a little bit past Graveyard. Graveyard's up there. I'll show you that in a minute. But look at this. It has been years since I've seen it like this. I've seen all the way up to these upper stumps though. Look at that. This is where Graveyard lets in. So I'll show you Graveyard, then we're headed up to Heaton Flat. I know there'll be a few waterfalls along the way. But that bridge back there, that bridge going to the fire, the water is just starting to go over it. There's a bunch of fire people down there trying to do their best to salvage it, keep it from going. And here's Graveyard. It's not flowing as much as I thought it would be. I've seen it from that side to that side, completely out, completely covered. It probably was yesterday. Although, look, it's cut down a good 4 or 5 feet there. It's flowing. Yeah, it's cut a deep channel, dead center. There's what it's mixing up with the East Fork. Look at the cut there, the cut. It's a good 5 feet down. Straight through. Taking out new gold. Fresh gold, guys. This is right below the Oaks picnic area. There's usually a couple more. There's another one. This is right at, oh, look at that up there. This is right at the Oaks campground.
Is the Oaks campground right here?
Oaks picnic area.
I don't think I've ever been in there.
Here's a mine uncovered by the burn. It doesn't go in that deep. All this is burned. You go around this. You go around this corner and go up this Glendora Ridge Road, and on the left-hand side there's a mine just above the road. Maybe about 200 or 300 feet down the road. And about 15-20 feet off the road. This is what I wanted to check out. Look at that. Look at those burnt hillsides. So here it is, East Fork River from the Heaton Flat Campground parking lot. It's flowing. It's flowing off the road over there. Off the road. Oh, it's coming down from up there. I'll go check that out. This one's flowing good too. Look at this. Another waterfall, another one. That's a real tight part of the canyon. So coming out the other side, there was nowhere to park, and there was a snowplow guy coming up. On the way back down, I'm going to stop and get a picture of it, get some video of it. It's really coming out of that canyon quick. There's another mine up there. How you can see it is from up there where the gate is, where the trees are. You look directly across, in between the second and the third telephone pole coming up from Cow Canyon. About 100 feet up off the road, and you'll see, we'll look directly into the mine. This is one of the first little gulches from the lot. But there's another one down here that's coming all the way across. Years ago, the winds were so strong down that canyon, it blew some guy's tent from down there up there, and there it remains. Shredded, but that's what's left of it. A blue high-tech. There we go, look at that. That gulch goes up and cuts over and hits a wall. And that wall will eventually go over, and you'll come down over by Heaton's mine, the Queenie. I've always suspected another mine up here, but I've never found it. That's a steep hike, and at one point it's really sketchy where you're going along this little lip. Look, cement. They designed it for that. That's the one we're seeing from over there. See, there's that pinch point, and there's where cold water is adding to it. And if you listen close, every once in a while you hear a big boom. It sounds like thunder in the distance. It's huge boulders getting rolled. And there's huge boulders getting rolled. Minute boulders getting... Look at the power of this water. So tempting to get in right here with a raft. There's a video, there used to be a video on YouTube of two guys took single kayaks way up West Fork on a rainstorm like this, and they rode their kayaks back from about the 3-mile mark all the way to the bridge at, there goes some boulders, you can hear them. The bridge where Highway 39 goes over. It's an old video. Let me go back and get cold water. Look at the tower. Hey Robert, Ferguson, your hole's filled up. Nobody's digging in your hole. Matt and I started out at Crystal Lake Cafe. We came over South Hawkins, down over Rattlesnake. We came down right there and back to our car. That was a great trip. This is Coldwater. You go back here about 3/4 of a mile, hit Coldwater, gonna head up towards north. You continue, you'll parallel Glendora Ridge Road that's over here, and you'll end up over by the Mount Baldy Church. By Glendora Ridge Road, below the church. Matt and I and Eric came over Mount Baldy, over Mount Baldy, West Baldy, came down to the terrace beach that goes to Iron. We dropped down into Coldwater. We scored a couple mines, then we dropped down into Coldwater. From there it's an 8-mile trek back, and then back to our cars. Oh, there goes some boulders. Hear them? It's moving, big rocks. There'll be all kinds of gold being found up here in a few weeks. Coldwater Canyon Bridge, East Fork River, Azusa Mountain. Azusa Canyon, San Gabriel Mountains. Let's go check out the West Fork and the North Fork. Look at that. It's probably only about waist deep in most parts, but with that force, you're not going to make it. One year I was up here at the 1 mile marker and it was like this, but it was only about 20 feet across at the first crossing, and there was a rope. My daughter and I made it, but an Asian kid, 21, 22, slipped off that rope, and they didn't find him till 4 days later, and they found him from the 1 mile marker. They found him all the way back down at the parking lot. I actually have a video on YouTube where they're pulling the body out. I don't zoom in and show anything, but it happened to be 4 days later. I was back again and caught the helicopter when they located him. So I was there when he fell in. I was there when they pulled him out. 4 days in between. Another thing people see and usually mistake for a mine. It's not a mine. That just directs water from the opposite side of Shoemaker, road's nowhere, down into a gulch and shoots through. But it starts out as a tunnel, and in the center there's no concrete. There's just a regular dirt roof and dirt bottom, and there's stalactites hanging from the roof coming down, and then you get down here and you look straight across. Whenever I pop out there, cars are going by, they're honking, and they usually yell across, "Where's that mine? How do I get in?" It's not a mine. It just redirects the water across the road, avoiding erosion to that road. And you're right here above Williams. There is the bridge to the fire department. Look at that. That's the bridge to the fire department.
Got it, huh?
Yeah, it's right to the top. When we came up, it was breaching it. It was going over and just lapping it. But I'm sure yesterday it was over it. Or earlier this afternoon, huh?
Yeah.
Earlier in the light. But there's the, what they call the 1,000-foot bridge, or whatever you want to call it. The white bridge that goes to the East Fork. There's the 4-wheel drive area. Look at right here. Completely. Here's where they try to go up and see how far they can go up. That little berm. My nephew used to go up. These over here. And that's where it's emptying into the reservoir. This is where the east and west meets the north and west meet the east and west right there. There's the boulder pusher again. Remaining light. That is just above the just below the turnstiles to the old entrance. This is the bridge now, the new entrance. I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you where West Fork and Bear Creek come out to meet the North Fork, and then I will go show you the North Fork, and then I will show you the merging of all three. This is the one those guys did with the single kayaks. Search kayaking the West Fork of Azusa Canyon. You might find them. But look at that. From the rocks to the rocks, all the way across. I'm sure up at the junction, or the last stock point just before the 1 mile, I'm sure that corner where it comes around and it crosses the road, I'm sure it's lapping up over the road. Last time they did this, it tore out the entire berry patch. Waterfall coming down from up there, and here we are headed to the Highway 39 bridge. Look at that fort. You fall in there, you're gone. Unless you get lucky and grab something. And this thing's slippery. North Fork. Highly overlooked river. You can start up by Crystal Lake, going towards Crystal Lake. Start off by Colebrook, park your cars there, and you can do a through hike. Some historical sights to see. A couple mines, it's beautiful. There is trout in here normally, but now they're probably being pushed. North Fork, West Fork, Bear Creek. I'll go down here and show you where they merge, and then I gotta get out of here. Okay, here we are. On your right, you've got the West Fork, Bear Creek, Mermaid Canyon, Little Mermaid Canyon, Big Mermaid Canyon, all those waters that add into it, merging with the North Fork at this point here. This is headed down to Recon and then into the 4-wheel drive area. One last look at the North Fork, and we are out of here. Interesting afternoon. So if you like any of the places that you saw in this video, go ahead and subscribe and check it out. If it's anything to do with the San Gabriels, San Bernardinos, most likely I have a video on it. Every mine, every cabin, some that are not even cataloged, every summit, and I'm still going. So all the ones I mentioned, just search through my videos and you'll find them. Use keywords like mines, gold mines, silver mine, whatever you're looking for, you'll find it. It's there.